What's up, guys? If you're watching, just bear with me for a second. We're gonna check and make sure this is working. Let's see. Of course, now is the time when my phone wants to play dead. Come on, phone, wake up. Baltimore, you should have been prepared. My headphones are getting low, so there it goes. There it goes. It's working. Baltimore, you should have been prepared. Okay. So, what we're talking about today, obviously, this is my opinion. I can't read mine, so I can't say what is fact about what other people are thinking. But, that in mind, I'm going to say the devs don't care about us. Let me close this. I see people in chat today talking about bugs. What bugs doesn't matter. Talking about, oh, we've told the devs and we hope they're gonna fix it soon. And some how could they not know type stuff and whatever this and that. Homie, every time you start the game, you gotta hear Sean Bean talk about his journey and how his eyes are filled with, how could that's just so annoying every time you start the game to have to skip that. I mean, thank God we can skip it at all. But still, why do we have to skip it? That's just something that goes to show you. Developers these days, you pay for a game and they think it still belongs to them. Modders come out with solutions to fix their broke games, and then the developers get mad and they're like, well, that's not what we intended. We're gonna come out with this line of code that does pretty much nothing except break the mod so that it can go back to what we intended it to be. It's like, homie, as soon as I give you that money, it ain't your game no more. It's my game. Why does Steam make it so that I can't stop the game from being changed? Why is that a thing? Why it's a thing is because you keep buying games from Steam. And so do I. That's why it's a thing. Mac from Worth a Buy, another YouTube channel way more successful than me, has just put out a video saying something to the effect that gamers are to blame, and we are. I've said that many times. But anyway, let me get back to the point that the developers, they don't care about us, homie. They don't. Somebody was saying, why do they have admin zones if they don't test things in them before they let them out, like the warehouse or whatever? Because they don't care about us. That's why. Why else would they make us ride way across the map? Why else would they, you know, why else would trade be so broken? Because they don't care about us. Now, think about when you go to work. Me, I've always taken pride in my work. I figure that a third of my life is spent sleeping, so that doesn't really count. You can't really do anything when you sleep. So half of your life is more or less spent at work, and so why not, enjoy what you do and put pride into it? That's the way I look at it. Most people do not look at it that way. Most people are just marking the time to get away from work, like in that movie Click with Adam Sandler. They're just wanting to fast forward to get out of there. all they think about is clocking in, clocking out, and cashing that check on Friday. So you got to think about that's probably what the people at the game publishing place are thinking too. Now, when you think about a game like Skyrim that was so great, you know, did those people take pride in what they did? Or did they just get paid a lot of money to do it good? I don't know. But when you think about a game like Mafia that was probably made in a closet somewhere, with a handful of people at best, and think about the bugs that were in Mafia. If you haven't played it, you should get it off of Steam. Just it's like a few dollars just to see how games used to be. The bugs in Mafia are hilarious. When you get to going fast and crash your car in Mafia, you will lose it. It is so funny. Your car just goes flipping all around, somersaults and spinning sideways and all kind of nonsense, crashing into buildings. It is hilarious. That is what bugs used to be in games. Kind of like when in Skyrim when you first started your tune and you got hit by the giant and he just ragdolled you to the moon. That is the funny kind of stuff that we expect from video games, not a bug where the trading post doesn't work. That is no. And also in Mafia, when you fire the Tommy gun, I mean, the thing was like, bah, 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 the recoil was just ridiculous before you could finally get control of. I mean, I loved shooting that thing. It felt like, you was really, I mean, you couldn't stop yourself. Like your lips would like do the whole Rambo thing while it was all like into outer space while you was fighting to get back control of it so you could blab it all around your screen like that when you finally did get control of it and you was just like spraying the whole room. I mean, that is a bug. That's just how games were back in the day. They were so fun. And now we have crap like this where it's just yeah. The devs, they don't care about us anymore. And then there was games like Rome Total War. Oh man, that was so fun. How many times did I play Rome Total War? And it was so easy to modify. A normal person like me, I know a few things about computers, but I could go in there and modify the game myself because the code was just, it wasn't no code. It was just, you can just go in there and change the files around. And when I knew nothing about modding back then, I could even change things around. And there were no constant updates that kept you from modding the game that ruined it for you. You just, you had hard copies back then for one thing. I mean, you can't really do that now because Red Dead Redemption would have like 75 discs or something. But still, you shouldn't be forced to change your whatever. To change your copy just because the developer is like, yeah, we don't like mods. But that's the end of my rant, homie. Developers, I mean, I don't understand why people are like, oh, I wonder why the developers are blah blah blah. There's no need to wonder. The people at work at the developing company, they don't want to work any more than you do. And they every time, like people who work at McDonald's, when somebody's like, this sandwich has been sitting under the lamp for 12 hours, The people at McDonald's aren't like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to get right on this and make a fresh sandwich. Yeah, they just roll their eyes, homie. They don't care. They want to get out of there. The people at the developing company, they're the same way. You think they care? Yeah, they don't care about you. They don't want to hear that. In the Discord, do you think they're all like, yeah, we got to make this, in their secret chats that we can't see? You think they're all like, yeah, we got to make this a great game? Blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. They're sitting in their chats talking about, oh man, I wish they'd shut up. They're in there whining again. That dude Baltimore is making another video. Oh, we got to ban that dude. Yeah, they don't care about us, homie. Y'all got to realize that. And ain't nothing gonna change till we start voting with our wallets anyway. Yeah, it's really our fault. I've said it 100 times, but anyway.